Deputy Tully.
Thank you.
Minister, I'm very concerned about the statistics released this week, which states that 1 in 5 detected sexual crimes reported to Gardaí involve minors as both victims and perpetrators. I mean, it's extremely worrying as it involves people so young. I'm presuming most in their teens. I don't want to even think that they might even be younger. And I mean, I was aware, as a former teacher in a secondary school, that obviously inappropriate comments and touching may happen regularly, especially to female students, but they seldom report it. It seems to happen in crowded corridors or certainly when staff are not present. And I want to stress that I believe it is only a small number of students, but it's enough to make it mostly female students in particular feel very uncomfortable. And so I suppose rather that this continue, measures need to be taken to educate young people on what sexual abuse is, on what sexual assault is, and on what rape is, and how serious and unacceptable they are. I mean, education on consent is vital. Sexual violence is on the increase, and many sexual crimes are not reported, as you know, and those that are, very few are brought to court. And I do believe that sentences for sexual crime against people should attract much higher sentences. However, I do feel, as I said, this is not the only measure that should be utilised to deal with this issue, and education and information are absolutely essential. Also, on average, I think up to 10 women are killed every year in Ireland by a current or a previous partner, but many more are violently assaulted and left for dead. And sentencing for the non-fatal attacks is far too lenient. It's disgraceful. I also want to support the call by Una Ring and Eve McDowell to make stalking a separate offence and with significant penalties if found guilty. But the other issue I am hugely concerned about is the issue of the use of illegal drugs and drug-related crime. Many families in my constituency are being threatened on a regular basis because it is maintained that a member of their family owes some drug dealer hundreds or thousands of euro. And I know of suicides of young people as a result of these instances, and I also know that families are afraid to report this to the Gardaí. People are afraid to walk the streets in the evening or at night because of the regular drug dealing that's happening on many dark streets and alleys. So more CCTV is required so people feel safe walking the streets and better lit areas. But again, that requires more funding to local authorities to provide these. Again, similar to the sexual assault issue, a cross-departmental approach is required to deal adequately with the drugs issue. It can't be viewed as an issue for justice only. But I'm just wondering where the national drug strategy is at now. And I also just think that longer sentences for those found dealing Class A drugs like cocaine and heroin are urgently needed. Also, the last thing is there's just a frustration in many areas when people hear of a crime being committed by a person who is out on bail. And while I understand the need for every accusation of crime to be treated independently and the presumption of innocence to be maintained, I do think that if someone is found to have committed a crime while out on bail, they should be treated more stringently by the court and a stiffer sentence given.
Thank you very much.